cyberpunks and retro nerds, Tommy the Hammer here, hoping you're enjoying all the Halloween videos I've been uploading to my YouTube channel lately. It's one of my favorite times of the year, and I can't help it, guys. It makes me feel like a kid again. And I know I upload horror movies to my channel constantly, but during the month of October, it feels extra special in my opinion. Today we're going to be checking out Dario Argento's Inferno. And for those of you that aren't in the know, this happens to be the spiritual successor or sequel of sorts to his masterpiece, Suspiria. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh my memory on this one. You guys are going to be checking out the awesome trailer, and when we get back, we're going to be discussing my opinion on Inferno. Don't go nowhere!
The life experiences of our colleagues should warn us not to upset laymen by imposing our knowledge upon them. The book!
What?
There are mysterious parts in that book, but the only true mystery is that our very lives are governed by dead people.
In the beginning, there were three mothers, the same as there were three fates and three furies. Man has always mistakenly called them by one terrifying name.
I'm afraid. I'm afraid to be left alone.
Carla?
The movie Inferno kind of marks a slight transitional period for our director, Dario Argento. After this movie, a lot of his films kind of adopted this very muted color tone. In my opinion, I feel like his earliest films are definitely his strongest, mainly because they have such a strong visual sense. And, you know, as I was watching Inferno, I couldn't help but revel in the beautiful cinematography. Everything was lined up just exquisitely, and the color palette in this movie can honestly be said to rival Suspiria's. Now, with that being said, guys, I want to go on record and say that Inferno is nowhere near as good as Suspiria. Emerson, you know, the soundtrack composer for this movie, just doesn't quite nail it. And actually, I might even go as far as to say that the soundtrack kind of takes away from the movie a little bit. I do realize, guys, that it sounds like I'm ragging on this film a lot, but I want you to know that I'm not. I really do like Inferno. There's definitely some inspired moments, especially to the soundtrack. And when it hits the high notes, those are really high. Out of 10 stars, I think I can only give this one maybe a 6.5 or a 7. It's not the worst Argento film I've ever seen, but it's nowhere near as good as Suspiria, and it's nowhere near as good as his other films that I consider to be classics, you know, like Deep Red, or even the films that preceded this one, like, you know, Phenomenon. If you've never seen this movie and you've already caught Suspiria, this is a pretty good follow-up. The visual sense is spot on, guys.